Hi.
We'll go ahead and we'll get started. So maybe just starting with like some basic questions, which is like where you were born, when you were born, and maybe just a little bit of your childhood.
Okay. Well, I was born on May 6, 1962, in Manila, Philippines. I lived with my grandma for my first 3 years of my life because my mom and dad were in the United States and they could not take me over because they only had green cards for themselves. And I had to wait about 3 years till my mother came back and picked me up with my grandma, and we flew all together back to Chicago, Illinois. By the time I reached to Chicago, I had already a sister who was born in Chicago. Her name was Eileen Joy, and she was already a year and a half by the time I got to meet her for the first time.
You can go ahead and tell me a little bit about where you went to school and who were your school friends.
I went to several different schools. When I was younger, I went to an all-Catholic girls' school that was across the street from my home, and that was considered a good neighborhood at that time, but it's considered a bad neighborhood after we left. I went to Assumption, BVN, which is Blessed Virgin Mary school, and my dad befriended the priest that was in charge of the school. And how he befriended him was because my dad was a physical therapist at the time when he met the priest, who was Father Sipon, and the priest offered him a job as a gymnastic teacher, a gym teacher, which my dad was very good at. Later on, my dad went into X-ray, ultrasound, and some imaging, which is part of his school education for the hospital. I went to school at Blessed Virgin Mary for kindergarten and first grade. Then I went to St. Basil's, which was across the town because they closed down my school. Then my mom wanted to finish up her medical degree, so we went back to the Philippines because it was cheaper to finish up her degree as a doctor. Unfortunately, she was 1 year shy of finishing up her degree because my sister, who was the one that was born after me, she was very sick when we moved to the Philippines, and my dad had to work back in Chicago. We didn't have him around, and my mom had to go and fly to Manila, where she had to take her courses. So we were under the care of my Uncle Melvin and Uncle Joe, and we had in the Philippines, if you're well off, you were able to have what they call as maids and butlers. So we had 2 maids that took care of us for our food and for physical needs and stuff. And we went back to Chicago after 2 years because of my sister being so sick. After that, we went and moved to a bigger house. And there we grew up, went back to our Catholic schools, and finished up my kindergarten to 8th grade, and then went to an all-girls high school, and then I went to finish up my nursing degree at University of Illinois. So then I went back to overseas as a missionary in Guam, and came back after 5 years. Met my husband, which is Vicky and Caroline's dad. And then we got married after a year. And after a year of being married, I was pregnant with Vicky. And 2 years after Vicky came, Caroline came. So we were blessed with 2 beautiful girls. So we're still being blessed by them. Now I have a handsome and wonderful son-in-law. So I'm hoping that my youngest daughter will find something nice for her.
That's really good.
She had shaking her head, but I know there's somebody for her. The only thing I feel sad about is my oldest daughter and my son-in-law live so far away. And I'm hoping to be able to visit them in Australia one of these days. Now, if the babies come, definitely I have to go.
Do you remember as going even farther back as a child, what were your favorite foods to eat, and what did you like to do in regards to like activities?
My favorite foods to eat was my mom's cooking. Anything she would make, it was good. I loved mangoes. That's my favorite fruit. Other than that, I'm not picky with food. And I like to cook too when I was able to.
What do you like to cook?
I like to cook desserts. That was what I really like. I like to make cakes. You guys had a lot of cakes that I made.
Good. Where has been your favorite place to travel and why?
My favorite place was Hawaii. I went there for the first time as a 18-year-old. That was our senior high school trip, and also great-grandpa would have been your great-great-grandpa lived there. He died when he was 100 years old, so that was my dad's grandpa. So I was able to meet him. I was the only one of all the great-grandkids that was able to be around with to see him.
What is your your favorite memory in your life?
It was the day when you were born.
Yeah. Don't tell Caroline that.
Oh yeah, that
was her other favorite day.
Yes. She came out the normal way. And I had a C-section with you. Well, you were trying to come out the normal way too, but your head was just too big.
Don't even. Don't even.
She had a big head.
Stop. Why are you like this? No, there's no evidence there. You're so mean. You always says I have a boof head.
What?
A boof.
What's a boof be?
It's rude in Australia. Big head. Boof head.
But we love you.
Yes, we love you. Even though you have a boof head.
Stop laughing. It's so mean. It's so mean. Oh, great. Fuck off. Do you want to ask any, Caroline? No? Nothing?
Who's your favorite?
You can't ask things like that.
It's
Me.
Both of you.
It's Andrew?
Andrew's my favorite.
Okay.
Childhood games that you'd play with friends.
Yeah.
That's always a good one.
We like to play the hopscotch.
Hopscotch.
Yeah, with the chalk. Yeah.
Would be different games in Philippines to when you're in Chicago.
No, pretty much the same because
Same? Yeah.
the Philippines was under U.S. rule for 100 years. So we pretty much have
A lot of the same.
the same
influences,
with that we were taught. Yeah,
Yeah. Was it a lot of it like outside games?
yeah,
Yeah,
we're
on the
outside
street
game.
and playing with
Yes,
friends. Yeah.
we like to play the poor birds with the pellets. We would blow it through the bamboo.
BB guns.
Yes, and try to hit them. I felt sorry for the birds. Yeah, but hopscotch was our favorite.
That's
Yeah.
good. How about we can finish off with words of wisdom?
Don't ever go to bed angry with each other. Because I've done that many times with your father. And we regretted what we said. So never go to bed angry with each other. Yeah. Always end up loving each other at the end of the day. Yeah.
That's good.
Because you never know if the last time you'll see each other. Yeah. You might die in your sleep. You never know. Yeah.
That's good, Mom.
Okay.
You did well. Did you
Okay.
enjoy that?
Yeah.